Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and tonight I'm joined by Derek
Hello.
and Eric.
Hello.
Eric and Derek, or Derek and Eric.
Narc, narc.
We're back for some more General Hospital, 1993, the Brenda Years. Today we're going to be discussing episodes that aired between March 1st and March 3rd of 1993. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get right into it. So I actually watched the last one that the two of you did, just to kind of so I wasn't missing anything. So if I'm repeating things you guys already talked about, tell me.
Let's say shut up.
Like we already talked
Okay, it's been a while.
Yeah, right.
So, but I did text both of you. I was like, "Oh my god, Jason and Brenda kissed."
Yeah, I never knew that either.
Yeah,
um.
and didn't forget about it yet. We still talked about it.
So let's talk about, just to get it out of the way, the whole Bill Halifax painting, because that's the smallest story.
Yeah, now we're getting a little bit of
history.
history.
Europe.
Now we're
It's making more sense now, but it's still like just not good.
yeah, it's
I
not
was
great.
really intrigued by his flashbacks because I felt like it gave more context.
So it's about this woman, whoever she is,
Victoria,
right? Mm-hmm.
who I was confusing with Sunset Beach because I'm thinking Victoria was in the painting, but I'm thinking about Maria. There's no woman in the painting.
I think of Victoria Winters from Dark
I also
Shadows.
thought about Victoria Winters from Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
Okay, is he in Europe? Is that where he is?
I think.
I think so.
State?
Somewhere.
Okay.
So and Lucy's there.
He's trying to get to the bottom of like Halifax stealing this painting from him, and why.
Mm-hmm.
We have flashbacks. It looks like maybe he was hired to kidnap this woman, but maybe he fell in love with her along the way.
Yeah.
And vice versa. There was a flashback of him getting into a car accident, and I thought maybe she died in the car accident, but that wasn't the case. So I don't know. Maybe we're gonna get more flashbacks as we watch, and we're gonna see how she died if she's even died.
And they talked about him being 21 too, so I guess he was supposed to be 21 in those flashbacks.
He looked 41.
He looked. Isn't Lucy pretending to be this woman?
Yes, with that terrible wig.
Yeah. So Halifax, this guy that keeps meeting up with Bill, has Lucy go to Europe, I guess.
Yeah.
Wear a wig to pretend to be this, to stand in the window to kind of fuck with his head. And she goes running into an alley, and he chases after her, and there's no way out. And she's like hiding behind like boxes. And the guy with Bill's like, "There's nobody here. You're losing your mind." And meanwhile, he sees Lucy standing right there, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die." So that was pretty much that for that story.
Yeah, it was only like one episode, I think.
Prior to that, we saw Lucy a little bit because she was with Dominique and Scott, because she had gotten the Quartermain cabin for Scott and Dominique to go to. But then you guys already talked about this. She passed out from her illness. But she seemed to be fine in these episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody's confidant.
She wants Scott to be her lawyer and to like go over her will and maybe redo it.
Mm-hmm.
And he reluctantly goes along with it, but then he says it's a conflict of interest, but his father could do it.
Yeah,
I
guess because they're spouses, and I guess it would be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, but wouldn't your father-in-law also be a conflict of interest?
Yeah, I would think so.
But she wants to redo her will, right?
Yeah.
So he gets everything.
Pretty much gets everything.
Yeah. They did mention baby.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm sorry, I can't have your baby," or something like that.
She did.
And we're in March. She leaves in May. Where is Serena?
She's coming.
How does she happen?
Yeah, I guess she doesn't get to see the baby, right?
Halifax. So let's get this going.
They don't do a time jump, right? Because she never meets the baby, right? Or does she?
No, the baby's born in like December, and
like well after she's gone, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did she come back as a ghost to like see the baby?
And on Port Charles.
Oh. Okay.
Everyone's a ghost.
I feel really bad for Scott.
I do too, because I actually like this version of him in the '90s because he's such a dick in the '80s. I feel like this is kind of like his comeuppance, though. Like he kind of deserved this in a way.
Um, let me know if this happened already when you guys talked about it. But Jason and Jagger got into a fight.
Yeah.
That
We
happened
talked
already.
about it last time. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they got into a fight. So Jason's all bruised up.
Which Jason started, by the way.
He did.
Yeah. Jason and Brenda had more scenes, and I was like, do they date? Like, I feel like are they chem testing? Like, because I was like, this feels like they might date. He like let her wear his Letterman jacket. They ran into Jagger and Karen. Karen seemed like she was a little bit jealous that she was wearing the Letterman jacket. They try to go to the Port Charles Hotel for dinner and be all fancy, and they can't get a seat, but the Quartermains walk in and they get seated right away.
Of course.
So they end up back at Kelly's making omelets. Which I'm liking them now. I see the chemistry. Back when Brenda was dating, I was like, I feel like Brenda has more chemistry, but I get their appeal. They're cute. Even though Antonio Sabato Jr. looks like he's like 25, but
yeah, right.
Playing 17.
He just has like an older look to him too, though. I feel like
he looked 25 for like 30 years.
Right. Same.
Who else? Oh, so Brenda. It kind of circled back to Brenda putting the tape of what's her name? Not Julia.
Jenny.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
No,
yeah.
I thought we were done with Brenda's part in this.
That was good. I'm glad she found out finally.
And Brenda kind of sold herself out, which I kind of liked.
Same.
So Jenny has checked into the Port Charles Hotel, and because she's like, all right, they want to make press conferences about me and smear my reputation. She's like, I'm gonna check into his hotel and fuck with him.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was great. I loved it.
Same.
Brenda is like trying to be like a reporter for the school paper. And Julia keeps like pushing her camera away, and she's like, well, if I don't get an A, it's all your fault.
A for being nosy.
Yeah.
Jenny and Brenda kind of have a little confrontation, and that's how she finds out
right.
The tape in the car, because she's like, how do you know about the tape in the car? And she says, Julia, because I got it from Julia. So now Jenny thinks that this was this whole thing that Julia set up, and that she was paid by like Tracy to do this.
Right.
Which she's not on the wrong path. This tape exists because of Tracy, because of Marco.
Right. That was a great confrontation with Julia and Jenny, though. I wish there was some fighting involved, though, instead of just words, but it was good.
It was, because when they weren't yelling and they were kind of like, we were friends, I kind of felt bad. Like, I was like, oh, like, I felt like they genuinely did care about each other. And I was like, oh, maybe we could be friends again someday. I don't know.
Julia was very in the wrong, though. And I'm glad that Jenny got the last word, because I'm like, yeah, Julia deserves to be the way she's acting now.
I mean, but Jenny got Paul, so like she kind of won. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, but she loved Ned, so I mean, it was, and Julia didn't really do anything to help. Her case with Ned, so
right.
She just kind of let it go.
Both right though, but like I felt I was more Team Jenny.
Yeah, I'm definitely more Team Jenny.
I'm Team Jenny because she was a child and they're exploiting this. Like, she was someone that seduced the mayor and tried to break up his marriage and extort money out of him, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's probably painful to talk about, but be like, he got me pregnant and he paid for the abortion. How about that?
Yeah.
I like that she said that to Julia. She's like, yeah, you could just turn on the news and see my story. Like everything's out there. It was good. Jenny handled herself really well in this situation.
I thought it was funny that Julia was working out when Jenny came to confront her, and she continued to work out. Like she got right back on the bike and was like,
Yeah.
Ned was also still a dick because he's like, you're not staying here, and she's like, fine. She's like, but I'm not leaving quietly.
He's such a dick.
So there was a scene because Tracy's trying to become CEO of ELQ. And Edward's not going to let that happen because he's misogynistic and he doesn't think that a woman should run the company, probably.
Exactly.
He hasn't flat out said that, but that's his mentality.
Right.
So him and Tracy kind of set up some of these press conferences to happen. And they're like really proud of each other. And he said he was like proud of Tracy and was like, oh, you are a quartermain. I'm like, okay, so you can give her praise and call her a quartermain, but she's not qualified to run the company because she's a girl.
She's a woman, yeah.
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 That's Edward.
That was cute though. She was like laying her head on his shoulder and he was like, it was kind of cute.
Edward never changes. He has no character growth. He's the same from like 1980 till present. He does not change his ways.
I think maybe when they were fighting about her being CEO, he brought up her withholding his heart medication. But he said a few years ago. Didn't that happen in like 1979 or 1980?
It was a very long time ago, yeah.
That was more than a few years. It was like over a decade ago.
I think it was right before she left the show in like that first time.
Yeah, because I think she was on Knots in 81.
Yeah.
So in 80.
And then she was on All My Children after Knots.
Oh, I always forget she was on All My Children.
And then Days. Yeah.
She was also on Guiding Light.
Yeah, she was.
Oh,
yeah.
She was? Who did she play on that? I don't remember her.
Harry, Ross's wife.
Oh. Okay.
What year? Only for like a year?
It was very short. It was like
maybe. It was like the mid 80s. It was like between
and
I think it was before Days.
Yeah, it was before Days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because she played Wally Kerr's what was it, love interest on Days.
On Days, yeah.
Going back to Julia, I do like that Julia said, "Wow, you must really think low of me to think I went with Tracy, like went Tracy against you," because I guess she hates Tracy just as much as Jenny does.
Tracy reiterated to Paul, you know, if you flaunt your mistress in front of my son, like I'm gonna like sue for full custody or whatever.
Yeah.
And Lila asked Jenny to redecorate the bedroom.
Yeah, this was like the fallout of that because this is the first time Tracy saw her there since Lila hired her.
Right. I thought Edward was funny when he was like, "Oh, we should get a waterbed and like a mirror on the ceiling, whatever."
Yeah.
Which I don't get. So he's like trying to like ruin her character through press conferences, but he's still being playful and funny with her, like being the interior decorator of his bedroom. Like
he has to do it for business reasons. Like I don't think it's anything against Jenny. It's just kind of like he has to wait to see what the senator says, which is what they're doing, kind of.
Right.
And then they have to like because they can't let their business go down because of this situation.
Yeah.
Ned is so hung up on the fact that she withheld this information from him. He's being such a dick, and he's not being remorseful or empathetic to the fact that she was 16.
Yeah.
Like I just don't get it.
I don't know what I want to happen to him, but I don't like him. I want to get hit by a car. I don't know if I want him to get slapped, punched. I don't know.
Lois has to come to town and change him.
Yeah, but like I feel like this should change. Like I don't know. Like maybe because he doesn't know all the facts yet. Because that's how it ended with them, right? Like Dominique told Julia to go talk to him before he finds out another way. Of course, he'll find out another way. You know, they always find out the worst way.
Oh, I really do like Dominique and Julia's friendship. I'm gonna miss that.
Yes. Yeah, I thought the same thing as I was watching the scenes. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna miss this. She's gonna be dead soon. And Julia will be gone soon anyway, right? I think she leaves soon too.
And like Ed and 93, yeah, most of them here.
Not that I missed him, but I was very happy that Sly wasn't around in these episodes.
Yeah, who's watching Sly? Like,
I thought Jenny was watching.
Well, he's a little busy at the Port Charles Hotel. I don't know.
He also at the Port Charles Hotel. We just didn't see him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe she's with Angela, the grandma.
Oh, maybe.
Carol, what was her name? Carol. You know her name.
Play by the Bell teacher. That's all I know.
Yeah.
The Mac and Felicia stuff.
Oh yeah, that was big. Okay, so that literally, like, good writing, because I literally was on the edge of my seat.
First, it's finally taking a turn for the better, because that storyline was very drawn out. And
yeah.
I
was actually invested in this one and like on the edge of my seat with this, because so Felicia obviously wants to get out of there, so she's playing all nice with the I don't know what
Jimmy
nurse.
Yeah,
what he is. And pretending like she's gonna behave and do whatever he says, and like she apologizes for like everything she said about him or did. And her friend, she says they come up with this plan. She's gonna escape through the vent, but she needs the strength to pull herself up there. So she thinks if she does push-ups on the bed for 2 days, that she's gonna build these muscles to be able to pull herself up.
Right. So funny.
I'm like,
that'll do it.
Or you're gonna be if you keep doing that.
I know. I think it'll like hurt you more than help you.
Right. You'd be like,
in that case.
You're like your arms are in the pillow.
Right.
But okay. Meanwhile, Mac is coming up with a plan to get her out of there. But once he gets her out of there, I guess they're gonna have to go into hiding or go on the run. So he has to kind of say goodbye to Robin. I guess Robin. Who's Robin staying with? Bobby?
No, I think she lives at the brownstone.
I think Holly is staying with her.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right. So he rents an ambulance, and he pretends to be Ryan. Because he also steals Ryan's name tag and like a lab coat from the hospital.
I thought he stole the ambulance, because I thought she mentioned General Hospital is going to miss this or something.
She did, but then there was a radio announcement that said that the car was registered to somebody, so it's did it under a false name. Oh,
that's great. So he framed Ryan for that? I didn't catch that.
It wasn't Ryan's name though. It was a different name.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. So, and he said, I think they're gonna switch cars, so they're gonna like ditch the ambulance and.
Yeah, they're very smart about it.
Yeah. Was Felicia ever a spy, or was she just kind of spy adjacent?
I think she was in the 80s. I thought. I don't know if it was like specifically a spy, but it was like those adventure things that they
was married to Frisco, so I'm sure she picked up a few things.
Yeah.
And he's always been a spy?
Frisco, yes.
Yeah.
Since he came on, yeah.
Where does him being a musician play into all that? Like, wasn't he like a rock star also?
It's a side job. His hobby. Okay. His one-hit wonder. All I Need from the
80s. Okay, so Felicia's been saving her sleeping medication, and her plan is to have a night with the nurse, or make him think that they're going to have a night, and put these pills in his drink so that he passes out and she can escape.
It's a good plan.
Works
for several people, and so passed.
However, the pills were so big. They needed to be grinded, which she said she needed to do. She should have pre-ground them. How is she going to grind them enough to put them in a drink with like him standing right behind her?
Right.
I didn't think this whole thing through.
No.
So obviously he catches her and he's like, what's in your fist? What's in your fist? And she drops the pills. So then he starts going crazy. He starts flipping mattresses and pillows, trying to see what else she's hiding. She had wrote a note to Maxie saying that she's going to hold her in her arms tomorrow. And she tries to play it off like it was a suicide note. So yeah, I was on the edge of my seat because I didn't know what was gonna happen. And then he like throws her on the bed and he's like holding her down, and I'm like, oh my god, where's Mac?
Yeah. Oh, and he found the sheet. Didn't she have like a sheet tied like a rope, like she was gonna hang herself, or he said,
Yeah. So in that
"What we're
moment,
gonna hang
I thought
her?"
maybe she was gonna do something, but then he found the note to Maxie, and he was like, when she tried to play on the whole suicide thing, he was like, then why did you say you're gonna hold your daughter in your arms tomorrow?
Yeah. She's not that bright.
So Mac comes to the rescue, knocks him out temporarily. They go on the run. The alarms are going off. The guy comes to. Everybody in the hospital like locks down the place. They're trying to find them. She tells him about the air vent. I think the sheets being tied together was supposed to help her climb into the air vent. Maybe.
Yeah.
He took that so that he could pull her up. I'm not really sure, but they ended up not using it.
Yeah.
Matt climbed in first, and then I guess he was going to pull her up. But just as that was about to happen, the guy that's been obsessed with her and some other guards are like coming around the corner, and that's like when the episode ended. And I was like, oh my god, like that's when I was on the edge of my seat because I'm like, is she gonna get quiet? Oh my god, what's gonna happen?
That was so funny. She was like hanging there, like just dangling. I'm like,
when that happened, I was like, oh my god, I know John J. York is jacked. He can get her up there. It's fine.
Oh, for sure. But then in the next episode,
put her up there first, and then like pulled himself.
Yeah, right. But in the next episode, he like pulled her up, like no problem, like it was done. I'm like, it was all dramatic, and like the last one,
very dramatic. The little
they
thing.
literally turned the corner as they pulled the vent up. It was like they just missed it.
Yeah, it was literally a second.
So silly.
But yeah, that was exciting. And then they're in the vents, and they end up on the roof. And they're like, oh, the alarms are off. And I'm like, that's suspicious. And crazy guy is up there, and him and Mac into a fight. Did we end on a cliffhanger with that?
No, they got away in the
ambulance. They got away because
ambulance.
they got in the ambulance.
Yeah.
How did they get off the roof? Because the whole time I'm like, how are they gonna get down?
How did they? I can't remember.
Maybe that's when they use the sheets.
They
to another
scaled the building.
Yeah, I think they jumped onto another building and they went down.
So funny.
I guess you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another building, and then there was like a little like, what do you call those things? They're like little
like scaffolding.
Scaffolding, yeah. And they went down.
I guess adrenaline plays a big part too.
Yeah. So I wonder where they're gonna go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh well, remember Holly has it set up for them to like change their names. Holly set it up. That's what they talked about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so we picked up with the judge deciding that Lucas should stay with Bobby and.
Oh, I felt bad for Tiffany.
I did.
I know she's an asshole in the situation, but I did feel really bad, and for Lucas.
She gave a really powerhouse performance, though. Sharon Wyatt.
She did.
It was great. She did a great job.
Yeah.
It's all based in grief. She's not dealing with her grief. She was putting all of her emotions and attention on Lucas because she was so focused on this is my sister's son that she didn't want to lose that piece of her.
Right.
So she wasn't acting rationally. She's still blaming Sean because he didn't show up to the trial, and she's saying that he's the reason why Lucas is gone. But I was happy that she did do the right thing and she brought him over. And I was really, really loving Bobby and how like compassionate she was being. Like she's like, you can come over anytime and see him.
Yeah.
Because then Lucas was like, when am I gonna see you again or whatever? And she's like, oh, maybe tomorrow. Because she was gonna leave, and he was like, you gonna not say goodbye to me? And I was like,
yeah.
It was kind of breaking.
I know.
Because even Bobby was like, hopefully we can kind of like eventually be friends again, like move past this.
Yeah, for Lucas.
Yeah, but also they were friends. Like you miss your friend, obviously.
Right. They were friends for 10 years at that point, not longer.
Tiffany's holding a grudge, though. She's not really.
Yeah, she's not thinking.
Is she normally a grudge holder?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but I guess so on this season.
I'm thinking Sean's gonna get through to her because of the conversation he had with Scotty, and Scotty's like, "Don't give up, fight for your wife. I would fight for Dominique and all that stuff." And I'm like, I think that Sean's gonna somehow break through to her, and it's gonna be sad and horrible and make me cry. But
Well, I know what happens. Like, so it might not be for a little while because there's some things that happen before.
oh yeah, well we need drama. We can't just have it end.
Oh, Sean has an affair with somebody. Yeah.
Don't tell me who.
Don't tell me who, but
I won't tell you who.
They're on canvas already.
They are.
Ooh.
That was probably like one drunken night and he's upset. It happens all the time.
My brain is
ongoing thing. It's
what?
It's an ongoing thing. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
We'll see.
My brain automatically went to Lucy.
No.
No? Okay.
Don't say anything. Stop it.
Wouldn't be Tracy, would it?
Shut up.
I'm asking.
I know, seriously. I would certainly hope not.
I don't think Tracy's around much longer.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Am I forgetting anything you guys wanted to mention?
Jagger and Karen went on a date. They were just being cutesy and boring and kissing. Jenny talked to the press about everything that's going down. I don't know what the fallout is going to be from this.
Mm-hmm.
Jagger and Karen ran into Rhonda.
Oh yeah. Rhonda's supposed to be helping Scotty, right?
Yes, with the will situation.
Yeah, with the will.
But she's also kind of still disapproving that Karen picked Jagger over Jason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Again, I really like the Brenda and Jason scenes. I also, this probably happened with what you guys already talked about. I liked AJ sticking up for his brother.
Yeah.
Great.
AJ is back working at the Port Charles Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and I looked it up, Derek, about Steve Burton and Sean Keenan. They're not blood related. It's through marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they do look a lot alike.
Yeah,
they do. It is weird. Good casting.
I think that's all I have.
Yeah, a lot happened in these 3 episodes. It felt like a week.
And it felt like this was
felt like a week.
Yeah. What's that?
A week of episodes, like instead of.
Yeah, it really did. It felt like a lot happened.
Yeah.
I guess because we had a lot of like, I don't know, we had like a lot of storyline movement, I guess.
Yeah. There was a lot of resolutions and
yeah.
Well, some stories resolved and others.
I loved Lila putting everybody in check about Jenny. That was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's my guest, and you need to treat her as.
Yeah. I love Lila.
And yeah, Paul Satterfield. I was waiting for him to punch Ned. It still hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for that.
I know. I know. Ned has to go through something drastic for me to care about him again because I hate him right now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Catherine Bell has to show up, and then Lois has to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of stuff I feel like going on, so I'm excited to see the next few.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
As Derek and I will continue on. Because I can't stop watching.
I'm going to be stepping away. I may pop in here and there, but Derek and Eric are going to take the reins going forward.
We fired them. Finally.
It was a coup. They took over my company.
Bye-bye.
All right. If you guys don't have anything else to add, I guess we could wrap this up.
Good.
All right. Thank you for joining us for another edition of General Hospital, the Brenda Years. As always, you can find us on all the socials and on Patreon, where you can see exclusive episode watches of different soap operas at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night.
Good night.
Bye.